Now, the passion project that we are going to talk about today is centered around the love, the flying love letter over Melbourne. The mission about the love Melbourne and the flying love letter over Melbourne is to have 5,000 of your names printed and be part of this historical moment of building a balloon to fly over Melbourne by the people of Melbourne. The platform to use is now. I remember in the beginning, we were like, should we build our own page, our landing page on our website? Which, should we go GoFundMe? Then there's the Facebook advertising. But then you dropped the mic on mycause. So I get a phone call from the boys, and they're like, we found a local company and they're based in Caulfield, and we're going to meet the founder behind mycause. But tell me about that. How did you go about that journey of coming to mycause and really working through that decision of how we're going to build, which platform are we going to do this on?
That was probably the most tempestuous stage of the launch and building the project, was choosing which platform. And I guess in normal life, we're quite used to hearing about GoFundMe and about Kickstarter and Facebook. We're exposed to them a lot, and so at first glance, it was fairly simple that we had to choose one of them, and of course that's where we started. But there is a lot of limitations on those sites. They're quite simple. They're a lot less intuitive. And the moment that we found out that there was a local business that could offer something like this, like Kiff was like, oh, let's just call them and ask them. And that's amazing that we could just suddenly call someone in Caulfield, and a fellow called Adam picked up the phone, and suddenly, all our options were there. And not only did they have a really intuitive sort of website that they had available, they also could support us in building it. And suddenly, the floodgates opened, and we could actually start to make something that suited our campaign. Had a team of people at mycause that could also A, make sure that I didn't break it, and B, offer ideas and also share a bit of excitement around it. And there's no way that we could have got that same sort of service. There's no way we would have had such an attractive page if we had gone with any other platform. It was a huge relief. So I thank Adam and Nikki and of course Tania for helping us with that.
And we are very, very lucky and fortunate to have the mycause founder and managing director, Tania Burstin, here. You can see her lovely smiling face. I'm so excited. I have stalked you quite heavily, and the more I read and the more I listened and the more I saw, I was like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm seeing her tomorrow. So she's not only the founder and the MD of Australia's award-winning cause funding platform, she's also an entrepreneur in her own right and introducing online fundraising to Australia back in 2009, before the term crowdfunding was even a thing. Can you speak to that for anybody that's has their own passion project and looking at other global platforms? What are some key differences that people might not know about to choose a platform like mycause instead?
It's interesting, isn't it? Because when you do a lot of things, like even the Victorian government at the moment is advertising to buy local and get regional goods shipped over. But sometimes when you go online, you don't actually think about looking for local, because you just think online is everywhere and you don't necessarily think I should buy local. So it's probably not people's first thought. But I think buying local is important. Well, for the reasons it's important with other goods and services, an online company is the same as any other company. We employ people here. Particularly, we're employing people in Melbourne who are in lockdown, some of whom are working from home even. So, that's jobs and people in Melbourne and in Australia. And, supporting the local economy, supporting the local tech economy particularly, and as Pato mentioned, you can call us. We answer the phone, and a lot of overseas organisations don't and can't answer the phone, and you don't get that sort of personalised service. So if it's important to you to support Australian businesses and Australian startups as well, then perhaps do a little bit more research to see where you're coming from. I did that today myself, in fact, when I was buying something online.
That is an excellent point. And even in this initiative together, it's not that the platform is Aussie, Melbourne made, not just Australian made. It's Melbourne made, just as is Global Ballooning. What was that like for you, knowing that you'll be collaborating with a Melbourne business? I'm sure that gave you much more joy and enthusiasm in the project when you knew it was going to be with a local partner.
Global Ballooning is a business that really, and Despi is a master of this, it revolves around business culture. It's the first impression that you make. And to ring up Adam and kind of say, Adam, we want to be able to do this project and this, but just their response in all of this of just like, we can do everything to help you. We'll be there to support you. Yes, yes, yes. You know, just that whole kind of thing. And then he goes, and I didn't even know this at the time. I didn't know where I was ringing. I didn't realize it was he goes, and we are in lockdown, you know, we're in the middle of Melbourne, and we know exactly where you are because we are doing this. And I mean, I nearly fell off my chair because, you know, we just had these 2 days of arguments about our funding platform, and all of a sudden, and I just love the concept that, you know, for us, it is the microcosm, and I totally agree with you, is that if you're not protecting or supporting the businesses that are really passion-driven, really good at what they do, and local, I mean, we do turn to a supermarket mentality. So obviously the whole brand, Google, Facebook, GoFundMe, they can own the space just through their whole ability to have traction. But certainly for us to discover a local business like mycause who really can provide a much higher level of service is really important, particularly for me, who was extremely reticent and nervous about even going into the funding, you know, campaign. You know, as a business person, we're not used to asking for help. You know, I just wanted to give you a lot of kudos for how your company represents itself, because certainly that's exactly, we love to partner with people who think in exactly the same manner as we do.
I love this. Look what Wendy's shared from a contributor's perspective. Yeah, let's give Wendy. She's made her mark on the balloon. A little clap for Wendy. Thank you, Wendy. She's also giving that it was extremely easy to navigate, which is so important, and that is why it was frantic in the early days, because to build something like this, although it's easy to navigate, it is that takes some time of investment and research for that user experience to develop. So that is thank you for sharing that, Wendy. Thank you so much. Tania Burstin, mycause.com.au, Kiff Saunders, Paterson Saunders, globalballooning.com.au. So it's not just, you know, and mycause, if we bring that up, flying love letter, share your favorite Melbourne moments and use the hashtag flying love letter. Please go and check out mycause.com.au and look for the love letter to Melbourne. For as little as $100, you can make your mark and be part of something truly special to start the year in 2021, or even get in a balloon yourself if it's something that's been on your wish list for a long time. If there's anything lockdown does for you, is accelerate getting those things ticked off, isn't it? Thank you all for your insights, and I hope everybody was inspired as much as I was listening to another episode of the Tourism Hub podcast. Until next time, my friends, big love and be excellent today and every single day. You've got this and we've got this.